Migrants set to be paid £3,000 of your money to start a business back home. That's the headline. You see this, and your first reaction is probably something like, "Hang on, I'm struggling to pay my bills, and the government is handing out thousands to people who aren't even staying here." But here's the problem. If you only look at the headline number, you miss the bigger money story. In this video, we're going to follow the cash. Not just the £3,000, the hotel contracts, the weekly payments, and the businesses that quietly make millions off the migrant crisis. This is Money Lens. We don't do culture war. We do money. On this channel, we look at how policies, headlines, and so-called crises really move cash around the system. Who pays, who gets paid, and who quietly ends up richer, no matter which side you're shouting for. By the end of this video, you'll know how to read stories like this very differently. We'll use this one example: the government paying rejected asylum seekers to go home, to show you a simple three-step framework. 1. How to compare the headline number with the status quo cost so you can tell if something is really waste or actually cheaper than what we're doing now. 2. How to follow the money behind the scenes. Who's getting the hotel contracts, the weekly payments, the admin fees? And 3. How to spot when a policy is about performing toughness in the media instead of actually saving you money. In other words, you'll learn how to see through migrant crisis money stories and apply that to any taxpayer outrage headline you see next. Step 1. Compare the headline number with the real cost. The article says, migrants who drop their asylum claims could be paid £3,000 to start a business in their home countries. 3,000 sounds like a lot, but ask one simple question. Compared to what? Right now, thousands of people are in hotels. That means hotel rooms, food, security, admin, all paid by the government, all funded by you. If it costs, say, £40 or £50 a day to keep someone in that system, how long before that adds up to more than a one-off payment of £3,000? This isn't about defending the policy. It's about upgrading the question. Not just £3,000, outrageous. But is this cheaper or more expensive than what we're already doing? Step 2. Follow who actually gets paid. When you hear migrants are getting your money, your brain zooms in on the individual person. But the biggest checks rarely go to individuals. They go to companies, hotel chains, private landlords, outsourcing firms, security contractors. If the government stops paying for hotels and pays some people to leave instead, whose income goes down? The individuals might get £3,000 once, but the companies can be billing millions every single month. Whenever you see a taxpayer outrage headline, assume you're being aimed at the wrong target. They want you furious at the small number. Ask instead, who is cashing the big checks in the background? Step 3. Separate symbolic politics from real savings. The article calls the payments morally repugnant. That's a moral argument, and we can all have different views on that. But beneath the morality, there is a budget line. Some policies make a lot of noise, but barely move that line. Others are quiet, technical, and worth billions. If a minister is furious about £3,000 going to an individual, but silent about multi-million-pound contracts to their donors' companies, that's a sign you're watching theatre, not serious budgeting. So anytime you see a new crackdown or outrage headline, ask yourself 2 questions. How big is this number compared to the total budget? And Who benefits from me being angry at this, instead of looking at the rest of the spreadsheet? If this helped you see through the headline a bit more clearly, hit like so more people can find it. YouTube really does push videos that people interact with. And if you want to understand how these stories fit into the bigger picture, how wealth and debt and ownership actually work, watch this video next. It's part of a step-by-step series on Money Lens, where we decode the system so you can start building real wealth inside it. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the next part. Thanks for watching.